Hey guys, thank you for taking time to have a look at this. So what I'm building is something that I've been working on for, I guess, a few weeks or months, just trying to fill the time since I've graduated and figure out what I do past 5 p.m. now. What it is a tool to do legal citations. So obviously I know that tools to do this exist. There's Zotero and EndNote, and I've used both of them myself and I found them quite useful. But when I was using them, I couldn't help but feel that there was a few things that I'd change about them if they were to be used for law specifically, obviously because they're just general citation tools. Um, First of all, I found that the process for setting it up, the barrier to entry, was a little bit complicated. There was just a few too many steps than what I'd like. Um, it didn't have super comprehensive coverage for all of the different AGLC4 citation types because there's just so many of them. And also, it didn't integrate the AGLC4 guidance into the citation creation process. Obviously, I've got the AGLC4 document open here. This one is 324 pages. I've actually removed some pages from this. I think it's like 360 something. It's quite large. So for anybody who's new to citations or who doesn't do citations often, or even if you do, I feel like it's just quite a complicated document to work through with so much content. And particularly when it comes to intratextual references. So for example, here I've got the reported cases citation notes. And for pinpoint references, you can see here alone that you've got, 5 or 6 different intratextual references. So you should make sure it adheres to rules 1.1.6 to 1.1.7. Pages should be 1.10.1. IBID should be 1.4.3. And having to scroll up and down through those to check just one particular field of one particular citation, I just feel is quite arduous. And the existing solutions don't really provide a solution to that. So what I've tried to build here is an application which integrates the AGLC4 citation notes and information into the citation creation process. It's called CiteCounsel, and I think the best way to show it is just to literally run through a short demo of like how it works, what I'm thinking, what the future state would look like for it, what features I'd like to add, and then also very keen to hear any feedback from you guys. So the way it works is that you go to the projects page. I think it's pretty intuitive. Literally, you just click new project, add a title, a description, a status, which is how far through it you are, and then the due date. You can see here I've already created a sample one, so it's got a title, it's got a description, it's in progress and the due date, and you can also see all the tags that are currently existing within the project. So if I click into this, you can see the main screen, the sort of citation management screen. So there's sort of different visual sections. The first one you see here up the top, just obviously again that title and description, and then just counts of the different citation numbers. So there's, in this sample project I've created, there's 24 total citations, 10 judicial, 7 legislative, 6 secondary, and I haven't added any international miscellaneous ones. So clicking on those boxes also filters to show you all the judicial materials, all the legislative ones. You can see that table there gets filtered. Up the top left here, you have citation types, so you can filter by individual citation types if you want to, as well as any tags you've added. So if I only want to see things that I've tagged as property law, that'll only show those, or federal level. So again, all pretty basic stuff that you would know how to use. Also, you can search things if you need to. So that's kind of just the broad framework of how the user interacts with the citations once they've added them. But I think the sort of value actually lies in the add citation functionality. So the way it works is that when you click to add a citation, you can see here that it has pretty comprehensive coverage of all of the different citation types. So you've got different judicial material, legislative materials, secondary sources, miscellaneous, and then international materials. The note that the international material sections aren't done. I've still got to add all of the different countries' cases, as well as some UN materials. So it's not completely there, but obviously I'm working on adding those at the moment. So there's currently over 50 different citation types. So once you click it, there's 3 different sections of the citation form edition. So you've got the fields themselves where you put the values. You've got something called a citation rules section, and then you've got a preview of the citation. So the way it works is that when you click into a field, so for example here, case name, it actually incorporates all of the different AGLC4 rules into this section here. So instead of having to have your Zotero or EndNote open and then AGLC4 on the side and scrolling up and down, it actually shows you all of the rules in AGLC4 that are relevant to this citation type and this particular input field. So for example, case name here, you can see that the citation should appear as it does on the first page of the decision. Don't use full stops, words should be capitalized, etc. And that is actually all taken from different sections within AGLC4. So in the case name section, it says follow capitalization as per rule 1 point something, and it actually just pulls it all into this description here. as well as any special party rules. So, for example, if it's a business or a corporation, it tells you use these abbreviations. If it's the Crown, using Rex and Regina and that sort of thing, abbreviating to R. And then as well as any advanced rules, so Admiralty cases, use of re, when you should be using v, and like how it should be, not versus, all that sort of stuff. And then any examples. So for the examples, what it does, it shows you a correct example and an incorrect example, and then it tells you what the difference between them is, which I think would be particularly useful for people who are just starting out, because obviously having all these rules is helpful, but maybe just seeing what should the end product look like is also quite beneficial. So I'll just work through filling this out. So I'll just put in our favorite case, Project Blue Sky, and then we will add a year here, so 1998. And I have also added here the option just to let you pick between the different parentheses types. And you can see here again, there's guidance. If it's a volume organized series, use the parentheses around the year. If it's a year organized, use the square brackets. This one we won't be including a volume, but we can see that the law report series is going to be HCA. Again, the law report series information is included here with some examples. The starting page being 28, and then also we'll add a pinpoint in, so we'll say paragraph 18. So again, you can see for each of these, for pinpoint, it has all of the different information for general pinpoints, for paragraphs, references, pages, but then also if you have to identify court, if you have to refer to judicial officers, what sort of abbreviation should you use, agreement or dissent, joint and separate judgments, all that sort of stuff. So instead of having to have these all different sections and scrolling up and down the PDF, it just includes it all in one place. So once you fill these values in, you can also see here that the preview is updating, so I can see what it's going to look like. Obviously, I know that I don't need a volume for this, that's fine, but it shows me, for example, if I didn't include these here, I would know that that isn't correct because I can see what it looks like down the bottom. So then I can add that citation. It will add it. These numbers will update. I can see it down the bottom. I can add tags to it. I can click to drag and reorder these citations. So I think that's generally the main value proposition about is integrating that AGLC4 content into the citation creation process. I'll just do one more so you can sort of see a different citation type. I'll do a journal article here. So for example, here we'll add an author, and you can see here, obviously, it allows for multiple authors, it allows for multiple editors, and it will also automate the sort of formatting for the authors. So for here, I'll put Carl Branting. You can see it's just the regular name. I can put in another name. It will put the and in between. If I put a third author, it will put in the comma and then the and then if there's any more, it'll just switch it to et al. So it sort of automates that part for you. And then we'll add the title. And again, you can see down the bottom there, the preview is updating automatically. We'll put in a year. We'll put in a volume and an issue. And I haven't been stopping to show you actually, but obviously you've got the different notes here for these different fields. So you can see the titles. I haven't finished updating this, but obviously this will specifically say what is in Rule 1.6, 1.7. It won't tell you to refer to them. It's got the different examples. The same thing for years, volumes. It tells you what to do for the volumes and issues. We'll put in the journal. A starting page, and then a pinpoint. And obviously, again, the values for the same input fields are going to be different depending on the citation type. So you can see the notes here for the starting page. For journals, includes information about forthcoming and advanced journal articles. It's not going to include that for cases. And as well as the pinpoint references, it's going to be different. So articles published in online journals is different. It's not telling you about stuff that's related to cases. You can see here the preview, and then I can add those citations. So that'll be there. It's a journal article. I can add tags, and I can do whatever I want with it. So that's kind of the existing functionality. Obviously, there's still some refinement needed to be done with the rules, and this is a work in progress. As I said, I've also still got to add some more citation types, but that's the general idea of it. In terms of future editions, I definitely want to do integrations with Westlaw, Lexis Advance, and those sort of things, because for people doing legal research, those are going to be huge. The kind of difficulty I run into at the moment is that I had an idea of automated scraping of the information, but web scraping is prohibited within their terms and conditions. The sort of workaround I've come to now is that the users have the ability to just copy the whole page of a case, put it in, and it will automatically extract the relevant details and fill it into these fields here. So although it's not like a one-click solution, it's pretty much as close as I can come to now with what I've thought of. The other thing will be integration with Google Scholar. This has also been built. The way it works is that you just copy the Chicago citation style because this includes all the information that you need for AGLC4. It has full names, volumes, etc. You can literally copy that in, put it directly into the application, and it will parse all the relevant information into the relevant fields. So it'll add the authors in the author fields and the journal, etc. So that will be pretty easy to use. Obviously, I will add bibliography generation, which is very easy because it's just going to be obviously removing these full stops and changing around the order of some of the authors. And I can make it easily generate you a list which separates it into legislation and all those different sections that you need in bibliography because that's all stored here. And then the final thing would be automatic conversion to different citation types. So the obvious ones, OSCholar and Blue Book. I think that it won't be particularly hard to do that, again, because this information isn't stored just as a general piece of information, a general text, just one long string with the whole citation type. It's stored in these individual values. So it makes it very easy to construct a formatted citation in different types. So adding a one-click button to just say, convert all of these to OSCholar or convert all of these to a different citation type, I think would be very beneficial. Obviously, I know for research, that would be very handy. So that's kind of what it does now, what I'm thinking of adding. So generally, in terms of feedback, I'd be keen to hear things that are currently there, what you would change about it. In terms of the things that I've sort of mentioned in the roadmap, which do you think are valuable, and if they were there, how you think they would best be implemented. And then anything that I didn't mention, I suppose. The idea is this could be used by anybody, so like law students, researchers, people practicing law as well, doing legal research. So I guess kind of your perspective will be more from the research, but anything that you think would be valuable. Yeah, pretty much just super keen to hear your thoughts. And yeah, thanks so much.